Well, my birthday was a month and 3 days ago. My little baby sister died a month ago in this coming Thursday, which is 4 days or so away. Then Uncle Arvel died 2 weeks after her. So I've kind of tried to get everything in my life back together so I can go on. And one of the things I did is clean up my workbench. The two radios, taking the transmitter off the back of the Dragon Link one's just a pain in the posterior to get in and out of the two cases I have for them. So they sit there a lot. There's a bunch of quad props and a couple of airplane type props back there in the corner, just a stockpile of miscellaneous props. My gloves, a little plywood that I've used for little projects. This is a LED head lamp. I use it a lot. Used it more before the cataract surgery. The rest of it's pretty clean. Just a few little pieces of sandpaper I just use all the time. And electronics people are just going to have bamboo or wooden sticks around everywhere they are, because first thing we do when we have a component problem is tap on them with a piece of wood that won't electrocute us and try to figure out what's going on. So the rest of the bench is pretty clean. Got my bench power supply with an XT60. Then this connector for it. It's just alligator clips so I can clip the stuff. These are just empty trays. I'll take one and put it on the bench for parts when I'm doing something. The little USB fan plugs into the front of the bench power supply and just blows on electronic components when I'm working on the bench. My wife got me a display case for my demerit badges. That's pretty good. She did a good job on that. This little tray right here is the catch-all tray. There's no telling what's in it at this point. It's been on my bench for 2 or 3 years. When I cut off a piece of wire, a connector or anything, that's where it goes. And I'll dig through it sometimes looking for little pieces, but there's a lot of junk in there. But it keeps everything arranged. These little cups are just tops of shaving cream that just, again, like the little cups over there, just to hold parts. Same thing for that there. And this has some stick pins and stuff in it that I used on the balsa airplanes. And then we come over to my workstation portion, which I've got a HP computer here, all sorts of attachments to do the videos and stuff. It's a 55-inch monitor, again, more useful before I had my cataract surgery than it is now, but I still like it. I've used the rover on the property here, sitting at this workstation. I've flown a couple of the quads sitting at this workstation. I would like to sit here and fly more. Got to get permission from some of the landowners near me. I've got a little camera there for that angle view, one here for looking at things from that angle. This rotates around to give me a top-down view with my cell phone. There's actually one on top of the monitor. It just gives me a really good place to work. Now, connecting to the drones, I had to run a active USB cable. There's two running there. One runs to the USB power supply because it can be controlled from the computer for everything. And then right here's the end of a 20-foot active USB cable I bring to this location right here, and then I use little short USB cables to hook to the platform when they're on this side of the bench. It was working for me with the USB micro connectors, but USB-C on the new Maytech flight controllers just quit working with the, well, actually it was the USB cable I've now got hooked to the bench power supply because it still works in that length. But the USB-C quit working when I'd put a platform over here and connect to it here. I'd have to pick up that platform, take it over in the middle of what is usually junked out right in front of my workstation, and try to put a cable on it from the front of the computer, short cable there, to make the USB-C type work. Cable length on USB, you get more than 12 feet, you can start getting in trouble. And it's worse with the USB-C than it is with the previous USBs to that. So that's why we have that active USB cable there. So basically, getting my life back on track. I cleaned up my workbench. It obviously is ready for a new project, and continuing with the old project, weather permitting. Tonight's supposed to get down to 10 Fahrenheit around here, so cold is setting in and just not good flying weather. Been raining a lot the last 2 weeks, and then my little sister and my uncle passing away was a pretty big blow. Still is. I'm doing better. Like I say, kind of putting my life back in order, getting ready to get back in the swing of things and do some more projects. I think it'll be the second Sky Hunter. Well, that's the only actual other model I have in the room to build, is a Sky Hunter 1800. Everything else has been fully constructed. It's not really much to do on them. I'm doing a little keep busy work now, like getting all the components for each model figured out and put in a list so I can update them on YouTube and such as that. But this is the new Sky Hunter 1800 project. The Sky Hunter's here in the box. Just the kit, not a plug and play. I have to buy everything for it. If you remember, this was going to be built with a bigger motor and prop than the other one, and that pretty much requires landing gear. I was out recently and saw this landing gear in a hobby shop nearby, which was a little shorter than the rear landing gear that came with that kit I had shown before. So now I actually have kind of a level setup. If you remember before, it was high in the back, which pointing the nose down on an airplane during takeoff is not a good way to get the Bernoulli effect started over the wings and such, with them at an angle down in the front. Just not optimal. Matter of fact, you like to pick up that nose wheel pretty much as soon as you can. Real airplane, not sure about RC airplanes. I'll try it like real airplanes at first and then probably modify it. Since I put out the video on the landing gear for the second Sky Hunter, I've decided not to use wood like this along the bottom. I'm going to use a carbon fiber rod to replace that. So I've still got to get that worked up. Haven't done much with that. But this should be the Sky Hunter with the landing gear. I think that'll all work out. Steerable nose wheel. We'll see. May have to be a fixed nose wheel in the end. But I think that's going to work out well. I don't know how I will attach it to the fuselage, but we will. Got some of the parts for the second Sky Hunter. Like I say, it's going to be a big motor and a really big prop. I think it's 12. What is it? No, it's a 13-inch prop. 13 by 7 prop. Okay, yeah, that's why we want landing gear for it. I already started printing out. This is the GPS holder, 3D printed. This is the little 45-degree angled parts I put on the vertical stabilizers for extra structural support. And an old 765 wing there for this one. What is this? This is M8Q5883 GPS. Got 4 servos for it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nose wheel steering. And some spare props. What is this motor? It's a Sunny Sky. Boy, I can't read that print. Boy. It's a 2820 500 kV motor. I would have loved to have found a 400 kV motor and gone with a bigger prop, but that was not to be. So it's a Sunny Sky. I think that'll work pretty good. I don't have a ESC for it either at this point. So I've still got a airspeed sensor, ESC parts to buy for it. I think that's it. I guess an RC receiver might help. Some kind of telemetry. Oh, I think I've got the Dragon Link over there. Yeah, I've got a Dragon Link over there for this one. So that takes care of RC control and telemetry at the same time. So, trying to make a new start here. Get back in the swing of things. Leave the negative things behind. Never will get away from my little sister's death. I was 12 years old when she was born. I never thought I would start getting older than she again. Ever how much longer I live, that's going to add to those 12 years difference. If I live to be 70, then I'll live 13 years longer than she did. Not a good thing. Uncle Orville was 91. He was ready to go, so I hope I make 91. I sincerely doubt it. But anyway, I'm making a new start. I'm going to get on something here and get going again. Weather's the problem right now. I'm ready to fly several behind me, 6 or 8 behind me, but weather's the problem with that until perhaps spring. Who knows? There'll be some warm days between now and then. But that's what's going on now. We'll start working this up, and like I say, I'm going to make a new start and try to go on. I can't tell you guys how much your well wishes over the past month have meant, how much they have actually got me going faster, how much I appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks a lot.